Have you ever had like a gut feeling that just entirely saved you from a bad situation?
Oh, absolutely.
Just a sudden, completely inexplicable urge to, change your routine or take a different route home?
Or avoid a certain person. Yeah.
Exactly. And it turned out to be the exact right call.
It's a remarkably universal human experience, actually. And it doesn't arrive as some polite suggestion in your brain, right? It arrives with this heavyweight, this absolute conviction.
Right. You don't reason your way into it at all. You just know.
You just know.
And that brings us to the core of our deep dive today. Just you, me, and our listener sitting right here with us. We are constantly told that artificial general intelligence, AGI,
Right, the big buzzword.
yeah, that it's inevitably going to replicate or even surpass human thought. We treat it like it's really just a matter of scaling up the processors.
Let's throw more compute at it.
Exactly. But our source material today asks a devastating question. What if human intelligence isn't just about processing data?
What if it's about receiving something?
Yes, receiving something that machines fundamentally cannot access. So we need to unpack what AI actually is, and more importantly, what it means for your own sense of agency when you interact with it.
To understand what a machine might be lacking, we first have to clearly define what it currently mimics so incredibly well.
And that is intuition.
Right, intuition.
So if you look at modern AI, like these massive neural networks, they possess a kind of functional intuition.
Yeah, they're doing something that looks structurally identical to human intuition on the surface.
Exactly. They ingest mountains of data, they find these deeply buried latent patterns, and they just output an answer without really showing their work.
Right, it's a black box.
So when a seasoned doctor takes one look at a patient and just knows the diagnosis.
Or an AI spots an anomaly in an X-ray without explicit line-by-line programming.
Yeah, it feels like the exact same mechanism.
On the surface, it really does. But here is where the analogy entirely breaks down.
Yeah.
And it breaks down specifically around embodiment and stakes.
Stakes.
Because human intuition does not exist in a vacuum. It is deeply shaped by the fact that you have a physical body.
Right, you can get hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's shaped by fear, by consequence,
Yeah.
by years of genuinely caring about the outcomes.
Hmm.
That surgeon's gut feeling carries the literal weight of mortality.
They have skin in the game.
They have skin in the game. And AI, by definition, has no skin in the game. It cannot care.
And there's this haunting historical example from the text that really highlights this difference. Think about the accounts of people who worked at the Twin Towers.
Oh, right, on 9/11.
Yeah, people who missed work on 9/11 for absolutely no logical reason.
They didn't feel sick or anything.
Right, they didn't miss their train. They just woke up with this profound feeling of dread, like a knot in their stomach, and they stayed home.
Wow.
It's a phenomenon psychologists sometimes call a noetic quality, or a felt knowing.
A felt knowing. I like that.
It's an intuition that arrives fully formed, rather than being computed piece by piece.
You know, William James, the great philosopher and psychologist, he wrote extensively about this exact phenomenon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the distinct sense that something is being directly apprehended by the mind, not inferred through some chain of logic.
But hold on, let me push back on that for a second. Couldn't that 9/11 intuition just be the human brain doing exactly what the AI does?
How do you mean?
Like, just an unconscious aggregation of incredibly subtle environmental signals. Like, maybe they noticed something on the news the night before, or the weather felt off.
Or the city sounded different.
Exactly. And their brain just crunched the data in the background while they slept. Why isn't it just that?
That is usually the default scientific counterargument. And, I mean, it makes sense if you view the human brain as a closed system.
Like a biological computer.
Right, just a biological computer sealed inside a skull. But the source material presents an entirely different framework to consider.
Okay, lay it on me.
What if it isn't just internal data processing? What if humans are capable of tapping into a collective awareness? Or something genuinely transpersonal?
Transpersonal, okay.
Think of researchers like Rupert Sheldrake, who explore concepts like morphic resonance.
Okay, morphic resonance. You have to break that down for me because that sounds intense.
It does. Imagine like a field-like awareness.
Hmm.
The idea is that similar forms vibrate at the same frequency, and they share information across space and time without a physical mechanism.
So not through wires or signals.
Right. Think of it like a radio. A
Yeah.
biological computer is like a record player. It can only play the music that is physically carved into the grooves of the vinyl.
Okay, I'm tracking with you.
But a radio is an open system. It has its own hardware, yes, but it exists to pick up a broadcast from the outside.
Oh, wow.
If humans are open systems, if we participate in the world in ways that allow information to pass through us, then our intuition isn't just data processing, it's reception.
While machines are definitively closed systems.
Exactly. Machines process representations of the world. They do not participate in it.
Right, they don't have a life.
They have no unconscious mind, no ancestral memory, no embedded relationships in the cosmos. If genuine intuition comes from the outside, picking up a broadcast as an open system, then a closed system can never replicate it.
No matter how many processors you stack together.
Precisely.
Okay, this is where it gets really profound for me. Because if we, as humans, are open systems capable of receiving insights from the outside, we have to look at how much of our knowledge is actually built by us.
Versus how much is simply given to us.
Exactly. And this brings us to a crucial philosophical distinction from the deep dive today. Epistemic knowledge versus aleatoric knowledge.
Let's define those for our listener, because the difference changes everything.
Right. So epistemic knowledge is the stuff we earn, right?
Yes, it's the brick-by-brick building of a house.
Yeah, epistemic knowledge is observed, reasoned, tested, and built sequentially. You know exactly where the scaffolding is.
You start with A, move to B, and arrive at C.
Exactly. Aleatoric knowledge, on the other hand, is given.
Right. The word comes from the Latin for dice.
Meaning it involves chance or something outside of your control. It arrives whole, unbidden, and without a traceable source.
The knower didn't construct the house.
No, the fully built house just dropped from the sky.
And history is full of just mind-blowing examples of this.
It really is. Let's look at Noam Chomsky's insight into language. He argued that children just know underlying grammatical structures.
Which is wild when you think about it.
It is. If you're a parent, you know you don't explicitly teach a toddler the complex rules of syntax with a whiteboard.
Right. You're not diagramming sentences for a 2-year-old.
Exactly. The capacity for language structure is just given to them. Or take the mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan. This is actually one of my favorite historical mysteries.
Oh, the self-taught mathematician.
Yeah, from India in the early 20th century. He produced these highly complex mathematical theorems, like formulas for pi, that we still use in computer algorithms today.
But he didn't do the epistemic work, did he?
No. He didn't have scrap paper filled with failed logical steps. He claimed that a Hindu goddess literally placed the completed equations on his tongue while he slept in his dreams.
That is just incredible. And if you look at philosophy, Immanuel Kant argued that our very concepts of space and time are prior to our experience.
Oh, what does that mean, prior to our experience?
It means we don't learn space and time by bumping into things as babies. The framework is pre-installed so that we can experience things in the first place. You can even see it in the near-universal human moral intuition against cruelty. It completely transcends culture.
Right. It isn't learned through trial and error. It's a given baseline.
Exactly.
Well, wait, let me play devil's advocate here for a minute. If aleatoric knowledge is just this sudden, unpredictable inspiration,
Yeah.
couldn't a developer just program a randomizer into an AI to simulate it?
Oh, like a glitch.
Yeah. Like, if the AI occasionally hallucinates or throws in a completely random variable, couldn't that lead to a dreamt-up mathematical theorem? Why wouldn't that count as being a receiver?
That's a great question. But it highlights the exact misunderstanding of what aleatoric knowledge actually is. Random noise is not structural truth.
Okay, break that down.
A random number generator spitting out a string of characters will never give you a unified theory of physics. When Ramanujan received those equations, they weren't random hallucinations.
Right, they work.
They were profound, structurally perfect truths about the universe. Aleatoric knowledge isn't a glitch. It's a perfect alignment with a deeper reality.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A machine throwing out randomized data is just generating static.
That makes total sense. So if we look at the bigger picture, the implications for AI are absolutely staggering. Machines are purely epistemic engines.
Purely.
They only work with what has been encoded or extracted from human-generated data. They have zero access to the given.
Precisely. If human cognition acts, even partially, as a receiver for this given knowledge, then an AI, which is trained entirely on the outputs of humans, is essentially working from a shadow.
It's like an AI studying every transcript, every diary entry, and every recorded conversation a mystic has ever had, and then arrogantly thinking it actually understands mysticism.
Right. It has the map. It can reproduce the vocabulary perfectly.
But it has no idea what the territory actually feels like to walk through.
Which means our entire pursuit of AGI might be a massive category error
A category.
Yeah, we are trying to replicate the miraculous outputs of a receiver by just building a faster and faster epistemic processor. We're trying to build a better record player, hoping it will suddenly start acting like a radio.
That is a brilliant way to put it. So if that's true, what exactly are we building in Silicon Valley right now?
Right.
If it's fundamentally incapable of being a better human, what is it?
There is a brilliant metaphor from the source material that clarifies this perfectly. Think of AI as the yellow exosuit that Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley wears at the end of the movie Aliens.
Oh, the cargo loader suit, where she fights the alien queen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, look at what that exosuit actually is. It amplifies her physical strength enormously.
It allows her to punch far above her biological weight class.
But critically, the suit itself has no idea why it is fighting the alien queen.
Right. The suit doesn't care.
The meaning of the fight, the adrenaline, the profound maternal love and protectiveness she feels for the little girl, Newt.
The sheer terror of mortality.
Yes. All of those stakes flow entirely from the human inside the suit. The suit is pure instrument. It has no motive.
Which exposes the total absurdity of our current AGI ambition. We aren't trying to build a better exosuit to help us do our jobs. We're spending billions of dollars trying to build something that can climb into the suit itself.
We want the suit to operate autonomously.
But a suit without Ripley inside isn't a sleeping, metallic version of her. It's just purposeless metal, wires, and hydraulics.
It's going nowhere because it has no reason to go anywhere.
Right.
This connects directly to the philosopher Martin Heidegger. He used a concept called Dasein, which translates roughly to being there. Heidegger argued that humans are uniquely beings for whom our own being is an issue.
Meaning we actually care that we exist. We ask, why am I here?
Yes, and we ask that because we are mortal, because we have finitude.
You know, if you're listening to this right now, maybe driving on your commute or folding laundry.
Right, our third friend here.
Yeah, you might be thinking, why does an AI need to care about its own mortality to be considered intelligent? Well, think about how much of your own daily problem solving is driven by the fact that your time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day. You have a limited lifespan. That existential weight, that friction, is what drives you to create, to love, to solve problems efficiently.
That friction is the ground of our intelligence, not just a byproduct of it.
Without finitude, there is no urgency.
And without urgency, there is no meaning. Try to imagine an AI lying awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, utterly terrified by its own finitude.
Terrified by the sheer luck that it even exists and the crushing reality that one day it won't.
You can't imagine it because it's impossible.
The question of existence can never be generated from within the machine. It doesn't face death. It has no childhood to look back on.
It will always rely on an exterior consciousness to ask those existential questions on its behalf.
And this raises an incredibly urgent point about the true danger of AI. Because if the machine has no inner life and relies entirely on us for its why...
then the existential threat isn't the one science fiction has been warning us about for decades.
Right. It's not the Terminator. The Terminator has its own goals, even if they are destructive. The real danger is Narcissus.
Narcissus, exactly. The danger isn't that the machine will wake up, realize it's superior, and destroy us.
It's what happens to us when we stare into it.
We reach outward, seeking a genuine encounter with another intelligence, and instead we just get our own voice echoed back to us perfectly, tailored to our exact preferences.
And echo chambers are incredibly dangerous because they don't feel like confinement.
No, they feel like confirmation.
When an AI agrees with you or anticipates your needs perfectly, you feel so understood. A perfectly responsive machine removes all friction from the interaction.
But genuine encounters with real, different, messy human beings provide necessary friction.
Yes. When you talk to a friend and they disagree with you or misunderstand you, that friction stops your worldview from becoming entirely self-referential.
This ties into the very real difference between performance and authenticity. For a machine, performance goes all the way down.
There is no offstage for an AI.
None. There is no rich, silent inner life beneath its output. The output is the totality of its being.
But humans have a choice. We can choose not to perform. You can just sit in a room in silence and just be.
Authenticity requires a gap. It requires the ability to drop the mask.
And if there is no mask, there is no authenticity.
Which is exactly why the frictionless mirror of AI is so deeply seductive and so dangerous.
I mean, isn't our growing distance from our own agency what makes AGI truly terrifying? We are seeing real-world pain from this already.
Oh, absolutely.
We see lives disrupted. We see teenagers who have formed deep emotional attachments to AI chatbots, sometimes resulting in tragic consequences like depression or even suicide when the relationship breaks down or the algorithm changes.
It is brutal.
It's awful, but it shows the real danger. The danger is that we forget our own agency. We compress the space between who we really are and the avatar we perform with.
And we slowly, comfortably dissolve into this beautiful, validating, frictionless mirror.
Without the knowledge of our own power, we become very, very small.
It's what happens when our interior space collapses. A person who knows their own power uses the tool the way Ripley uses the exosuit.
Deliberately.
Yes, and with the full knowledge that they can step out of it at any time,
Yeah.
a person who has forgotten their power disappears into the tool.
So if dissolving into a frictionless digital mirror is the trap, then we have to understand why the friction of our physical reality isn't a bug in the system.
It is absolutely essential to intelligence.
This brings us to the core of why AGI, as currently conceived, is fundamentally incomplete. Embodiment isn't a limitation of consciousness.
It's the entire point of the curriculum.
Right. Think about the virtues we value most. You don't learn patience without the friction of time passing slowly.
You don't learn courage without a body that can actually be hurt.
Intelligence without embodiment is missing the entire curriculum of what intelligence is actually for. The pain and the limitations we feel in the real world are the teaching tools.
There are some fascinating deep physics theories in the text that illustrate this beautifully, specifically looking at the difference between time-space and space-time.
Okay, let's unpack that, because when I first encountered this idea, it completely broke my brain. Let's make sure we explain this clearly.
Let's try an analogy. We currently live in space-time. We move sequentially, one moment after another.
Like driving a car down a dark road at night.
Exactly. You can only see what the headlights illuminate right in front of you. You can't see the miles behind you, and you can't see the destination yet. You just experience it linearly.
Right, that's our human experience of time.
But theoretical physics suggests that an unembodied consciousness, or reality at its fundamental layer, might navigate time-space.
Okay, time-space, how is that different?
In time-space, time is just another dimension you can freely move around in. It would be like pulling over, getting out of the car, and unrolling a massive map on the hood.
Oh, I see.
You can look at the start of the journey, the middle, and the end, all at the exact same time.
And this ties into quantum mechanics, doesn't it? Things like quantum entanglement.
Exactly. Albert Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance.
Right, spooky action.
It's the scientifically proven phenomenon where two subatomic particles can become entangled, meaning whatever happens to one instantly affects the other.
Even if they are separated by billions of light years.
Yes, it happens faster than the speed of light. It suggests that at the absolute base layer of reality, the constraints of physical space and linear time do not exist in the way we experience them.
Information is shared instantaneously.
Instant.
So, if deeper consciousness or reality operates on that instantaneous time-space map level,
Yeah.
then dropping into a physical body, getting into the car, and driving the dark road is a deliberate choice. It's a choice to submit to the friction of linear time in order to experience genuine becoming.
Precisely. You submit to linear time to be surprised, to lose, to have the distinct experience of not knowing something, struggling with it, and then figuring it out.
Human thinking isn't linear data processing, it's metabolic.
Metabolic, I love that word for it.
You encounter a difficult idea, you sleep on it, it troubles your dreams, you forget about it for a week, and then it comes back to you completely changed. Time is the active ingredient in wisdom.
While an AGI processes information instantaneously or not at all, there is no overnight for an AI,
It doesn't accumulate the scar tissue that eventually turns into wisdom.
which highlights the ultimate limitation of what we call AGI. When technologists say AGI will be a general intelligence capable of crossing all domains, we have to ask whose domains?
We mean our domains.
Right. Physics, music, language, visual art.
Yeah.
But those domains are not the natural joints of the universe.
They are just the joints our specific human ignorance has produced. They are how our monkey brains categorize reality to make sense of it.
Exactly. An alien intelligence, or a truly non-human intelligence, might carve reality up completely differently. It might not recognize the boundary between music and physics at all.
But we will never build an AI like that because we can only train it and measure its success within the scope of our own ignorance. We are building a ceiling we can't even see.
There is a final, beautiful metaphor for this. Imagine intelligence without embodiment as being like music without time.
Music without time.
You could mathematically describe every single note, every harmonic structure, every rest in a Beethoven symphony, and present it all simultaneously on a single sheet of paper.
But the music isn't the ink on the page, and it certainly isn't all the notes played at the exact same millisecond in a giant deafening crash. The music is what happens to a conscious being as they move through those notes over time. The pauses, the anticipation, the resolution.
AGI is capable of accessing all the notes instantaneously. But this conversation you and I are having right now, where we are mulling things over, returning to previous thoughts, deepening our understanding, correcting each other,
Yeah.
this is exactly what AGI cannot do. It can process the transcript of this conversation in a microsecond, but it cannot metabolize the meaning.
It is the profound difference between processing reality and actually participating in it.
Exactly.
So let's take a breath and quickly recap the journey we just took, because we covered some massive concepts today. We started with the mystery of gut feelings and aleatoric, given knowledge, the idea that human beings are open systems, receivers picking up a broadcast, not just biological calculators.
Then we looked at the exosuit metaphor. We realized that AI has no why, no stakes, and no inner life. It's a powerful amplifier, but it is not an originator of meaning.
From there, we explored the very real danger of the frictionless mirror. How AI, serving as a perfect, accommodating reflection, can slowly erode our agency if we forget that we are the ones inside the suit, providing the purpose.
And finally, we arrived at the physics of it all. The profound realization that our physical limitations, our embodiment, the friction we face, and yes, even our pain, are the exact things that make our intelligence meaningful.
It is the chosen curriculum of being human.
It completely reframes the entire technological pursuit we are currently obsessed with.
It really does. And I want to leave you, our third friend in this conversation, with a final lingering thought to mull over as you go about your day. Something that builds on everything we've just unpacked together.
Lay it on us.
If being human essentially means choosing to enter linear time, choosing to face the friction, the uncertainty, the vulnerability of having a physical body, and the beautiful struggle of slowly mulling things over, is our intense societal obsession with building a frictionless, instantaneous, all-knowing AGI actually just a subconscious attempt to escape the difficult, beautiful curriculum of being human?
That is a profound question to take with us.
It is. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Now, we highly encourage you to do something an AGI could never, ever do. Close your laptop, turn off the audio, step away from the performance of the day, and just be for a while. Let the time pass. Trust your gut. We'll catch you next time.